Hi, I'm Captain Doug Stanford with Texas Fish Tips. This is your weekly fishing report. Okay, guys, good old Phoenix dock still holding some good fish. There's some sheep's head in there, a few trout, a few bull reds mixed in, and a few slot reds, and a few drum, all on shrimp. We've been catching a few pompano on there as well. If you get out here on Klein's Landing, there's some big old fish in there. We've been catching some nice slot reds in there. But we have hooked up some big ones. I think they were jacks, but we've been fighting them for over 2 hours, some of them. Some big old fish, still not getting to see them. But there's been some good fish all the way down through these rocks. If you get on that end of that south jetty, if it's not too windy, and get out there, there's some big sheep's head, there's some bull reds, there's a few slots mixed in there, and they all like that shrimp. You can also use that cut menhaden or cut mullet, and it'll do the same trick. Same way on this north end of this north jetty, there's still fish all down through. We're going to have a north wind next couple of days, and right down through here is going to be a good place to hide. If that current's not going too much, you can fish along those rocks. There's some good fish to be had. Also, if there's a slack tide, get out in Lydia Ann Channel. There's 2 wrecks out here. There's old brick ship, and there's in there their old SS Worthington out there in front of the lighthouse. 2 of them. They're a good place to catch fish, but you need to get out there whenever it's slow down. It's not a real fast current, but incoming or outgoing tide, either one is good. All right, good old California holes holding a few trout mixed in there. If you go through there, you can drift with your artificials. Or you can get you a popping cork and shrimp, hook that shrimp in the head, short leader on that cork, just pop it. Do a little double jerk on that cork. Them trout seem to like it. If you do one big heavy one, the reds seem to like it too. But if you happen to see a pothole, throw to the edges of that grass line where that pothole is. Anywhere's that in here, there's some good fish. And just drift this whole bay. Anywhere's down through Estes Flats, any of this down through is holding fish. Now, that water level gets up, you get behind these little mangroves right here and throw cut bait for the redfish. You might not be able to find a pothole. You're just going to have to guess where it's at. But cut bait is the best way to go. Like I say, cut menhaden or cut mullet. Menhaden has a better, stronger smell than mullet, but both of them will work. All right, good old Ransom Point right down through is holding some nice redfish back behind these islands. We can use cut menhaden, cut mullet. Way to go. Also, these little islands right here, right in between them, I've been doing pretty good on some redfish as well. Cut bait, it's shallow water. Right up in here on this edge, but there is some good redfish. Any of these spoil islands down through here in Redfish Bay, any of them, as long as ICW, get on the back side of them, then hold some nice reds, and you catch 1 or 2, move on. Sometimes you can get your limit one spot. If not, keep on moving. About 15, 20 minutes, don't get a bite, throw it over here. Keep on working it. But there's been redfish all up and down through here. You can also catch them on shrimp whenever there's not biting on hardly anything. It's hard day. Use live shrimp. Seems to work pretty good. All right. Over at good old pier right here, the Indian Point Pier's been holding some nice fish. You don't even have to have a boat. Get you some shrimp. Go chunk it out there. If you want a sheep's head, put it right down by the legs. Don't throw it way out, but they'll be right next to those legs. Or you can throw it way out and catch your old big black drum. Either way, there's a lot of fish there. Get you some shrimp and go through these piers. All the way down through there. Some of them's junky. Some of them's broke down. Some of them's in good shape. Any of them will hold fish. Just try them. Some of them will be continuing out where they'll be broke down and they'll be a little further out, but there's been some good black drum. There's been some sheep's head. We've caught some nice redfish off of them. Ladyfish mixed in there as well and a couple of mangroves. But there's been some really good fish all up and down this shoreline. Now, if you get on the back side of these spoil islands right here, when that wind's been a-howling, it's a good place to hide out. It's some of my favorite places to go because there's been a lot of good redfish and we caught some big trout right here on cut bait. Same way on this little corner right here. There's been holding some nice redfish in here. The north wind's going to be blowing. It's a good place to hide out. Anywhere's down through here we've been catching fish on these potholes. Now, if you get all the way down here and fish this whole bank right down through here, we can catch some redfish and some black drum scattered with shrimp. You'll catch a few hardheads, a few gaff tops, but you will get your drum. Now, there's Cook's Island right here. Right out in front of it right here has been holding some pretty good redfish. There's a few trout mixed in. We're catching those on cut bait as well. If you get right back up in here, there's a nice little barbecue place. It's pretty good eating. They're open on the weekends. But it's a good place to catch your fish and go have your drink, get you some beer, get you a little barbecue. It's a great place. Thanks for watching. I'm Captain Doug Stanford.